Okay, so I'm going to be showing you a pretty bad example of what really bad spacing looks like. So these guys end up clumping together, and because of that, the two men eats a stab to the face. So let's roll the footage. And again. Okay, let's summarize. So it starts off, and the spacing is actually looking. Oh, actually, let me just summarize before we do that. So spacing's looking good. Good. Then, okay, he goes behind his one man. Um, Not sure what he's doing there. The one man gives me the initiative by straight stabbing me. I block his straight stab. Now it's my turn to attack. So what do? I target switch. And then I turn to the new oncoming threat and I block. Okay, so how did this happen? So spacing right here is looking pretty good, right? We got good spacing here, good spacing here, and then watch what happens as it continues. So these two are starting to get clumped up, but it gets even worse than that. Look at that. What? um, what is that? At no point should this ever happen. Like the only time I've seen a player like get behind another player like this, like during the line phase, is if there's a sweeper, and even with a sweeper, you'd have like a guy right here, right? So you have just like an extra man like reinforcing, and even that, like it's debatable whether it works or not. Um, but at no point should you have a complete gap and a guy behind this guy doing nothing, because this guy can't do anything from this position. His visibility is hindered, right? Because he has a guy in front of him, and he can't really do anything without risking a team kill. So at no point should this ever happen. Like this is bad news right here. So he stays in there for a little bit, but then he probably realizes like, oh, so at this point he's like, okay, my spacing is pretty trash right now, so I'm just gonna get back into my line. So rather than focusing on the enemy right now, so everyone here is staring each other down, right? They're staring each other down. But this guy is about to attack me, so he's focusing on the enemy as well. But this guy isn't focused on the enemy. This guy is focused on his spacing because he made a mistake. So this guy is going back to where he's supposed to go, right? But the issue is, by the time he gets back there, I'm already stabbing him. So he does not see this coming because he's trying to make up for the mistake he made earlier with the spacing. Um, so both of these guys make a mistake. Obviously, the two man makes a bigger mistake with his spacing. But the problem with this is he stabbed me. And what I always say about initiative, you gotta always keep your initiative. Um, so he straight stabs me, but I'm prepared, right? I'm prepared for a stab. So he stabs me. I'm just like, okay, thank you for the initiative. I'll take that now. With the initiative, I target swap. Because I can see this guy, right? And I can kind of see that he's unprepared. So he stabs me. I take the initiative. And now I have him blocking. Remember, if a guy is blocking, he's not a threat. You're holding an up stab or whatever down stab. If you're holding a stab, you are the threat. You have the initiative. It's your turn to attack. And when it's your turn to attack, usually best to target switch. That's exactly what I do. I target switch, bam, right in the face. And then that's not enough. Remember, you got three steps when you target switch. You got to stab, you got to turn, you got to block. Number one, stab. Number two, turn. Number three, stab. I mean, what am I saying? One, stab. Two, turn. 3 block, right? Pretty simple. So if we go to our little Photoshop here, so this was the spacing right about here. So this is the overhead of that. And in this position, like this guy is not doing anything. He's not supporting his 3-man. He's not supporting his 1-man. And he has to use valuable time to get back into position, right? But by the time he gets into position, stuff has already started to happen. So this has started to happen. So this guy is now sort of like blocking, right? Because this guy has already attacked me. So by the time it takes for this guy to get in position, this guy has already attacked me, and now I have the initiative. So by the time he's already where he's supposed to be, I'm already going towards him with a switch, right? So he doesn't see it coming, and in boxing they always say the hardest punch is the one you don't see coming. So I switch onto him, dead. I turn and I block. Always want to block the oncoming threat, right? And now we're up one. Let's just play it again. Again. So in summary, spacing's good here. So just keep that spacing. Don't do weird things like this, because doing weird things will get you killed. Um, keep the initiative. If he just held a block here, he would have had the initiative, right? Because I'm blocking right now. So just hold the stab and then swap yourself. So hold the up stab, get me going backwards, 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 and then swap, right? But instead he gives me the initiative. I'm like, okay, thank you. Now I'll swap. Yep, that's about it.